5 words native speakers use daily. Part 1. Breaking the biggest English myth. Hello, my friends. Welcome back to English Stories Podcast. My name is Tom, and I'm really happy you're here today. This channel is for people who want to speak real English, not textbook English, not exam English, but the kind of English people actually use in daily life. If you want to sound more natural, more confident, and finally enjoy speaking English, make sure you subscribe to the channel and listen with me every day. Now let me ask you something. When you think about speaking good English, what comes to your mind? Many learners believe that speaking well means using big words. They think the more difficult the word is, the more advanced they sound. They believe that strong English equals complicated vocabulary. Maybe you think this too. Maybe you try to replace simple words with long, fancy ones because you want to sound smart. But here's the truth. Native speakers don't speak like that. In real life, Americans use simple words. They use short sentences. They repeat common verbs again and again. They don't try to sound impressive. They try to sound clear. Clarity is the real sign of fluency. When native speakers talk with friends, family, or coworkers, they don't say complicated things like, "I am experiencing extreme fatigue." They simply say, "I'm tired." They don't say, "I require some rest at the moment." They say, "I need a break." Simple, natural, human. And this is the biggest mistake many English learners make. They think simple English is bad English, but actually, simple English is strong English. It is the kind of English people understand quickly. It is the kind of English people use every day. In today's episode, I'm going to show you how speaking with fewer, simpler words can make your English sound much more fluent. You will learn the exact words native speakers use daily, and you'll see how easy English can become when you stop trying to sound complicated. So relax, listen carefully, and speak along with me. Let's begin. Part 2. What fluency really means. Before we learn today's words, we need to change the way we think about fluency. Many people imagine fluency as long sentences, difficult grammar, and advanced vocabulary. But real fluency is something very different. Fluency means speaking smoothly. Fluency means being easy to understand. Fluency means sounding natural. Fluency does not mean sounding academic. When Americans talk in real life, their English is fast, simple, and direct. They don't stop to search for the perfect word. They use the words that come easily. And those words are usually very simple. Think about real conversations you hear in movies, podcasts, or on the street. People don't talk like English textbooks. They say things like, "I got it. Let's go. Come on. I'll take a break. I made a mistake." These are not difficult words, but they are powerful. This is why today's message is very important. Clear is better than complex. If your English is clear, people understand you. If people understand you easily, you feel confident. When you feel confident, you speak more. And when you speak more, you become fluent faster. This is the secret cycle of real English learning. Complex English slows you down. Simple English speeds you up. So from today, I want you to stop chasing difficult words and start mastering simple ones. Because simple words are what native speakers use every single day. And now, let's look at the 5 words that are truly the heart of spoken English. Part 3. The power verbs. Native speakers. Use daily. Native speakers don't use hundreds of fancy verbs in daily conversation. Instead, they use a small group of simple verbs extremely well. these verbs do many jobs. They change meaning depending on the situation. And today, we're going to focus on 5 of the most important ones. Let's start with the verb get. Get is one of the most powerful words in English. You can say, I get it. That means I understand. You can say, I got tired. That means I became tired. You can say, I got a message. That means I received a message. You can say, I need to get ready. That means I need to prepare. Instead of learning many different difficult verbs, native speakers often just use get. Simple, fast, natural. Now let's look at make. Make is everywhere in spoken English. You don't say, I committed an error. You say, I made a mistake. You don't usually say, I earned some money. You say, I made some money. You don't say, I reached a decision. You say, I made a decision. Next is take. Native speakers don't say, I will rest for a short time. They say, I will take a break. They don't say, I will observe it carefully. They say, I'll take a look. They don't say, I will wash myself. They say, I'll take a shower. Now let's look at go. You go home. You go to work. You go shopping, but you can also go wrong, go quiet, go crazy. And finally, come. You come back. You come in. You come early. You come with me. Instead of saying I returned, you say I came back. Instead of saying I entered, you say I came in. These 5 simple words can express hundreds of real-life meanings. This is why learning simple verbs deeply is much more powerful than learning many rare words. Part 4. Heavy English versus Natural English. Now, let's compare how many learners speak versus how native speakers really speak. A learner might say, I am exhausted. A native speaker says, I'm tired. A learner might say, I require some rest. A native speaker says, I need a break. A learner might say, I became angry. A native speaker says, I got angry. The meaning is exactly the same, but the feeling is very different. The first sounds like a book. The second sounds like a human. Real English is not about sounding smart. Real English is about sounding real. Native speakers choose words that are quick, easy, and natural. They don't worry about repeating words. They don't try to show vocabulary. They focus on communication. And this is why simple English is the key to fluency. When your English becomes lighter and simpler, speaking becomes easier. When speaking becomes easier, you talk more. And when you talk more, your English improves faster than ever. This is the method we use here on English Stories Podcast. Real words, real situations, real progress. If you're enjoying this style of learning, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and listen every day. Together, we'll make English simple, natural, and fluent. Part 5. Why? Simple words make you fluent faster. Now, let's talk about something very important, your brain. Many learners think fluency is about knowing more words, but fluency is actually about speed and comfort. When you speak English, your brain has to choose words quickly. If the words are difficult, your brain slows down. You stop. You think. You translate. And very often, you freeze. This is why many learners know English, but cannot speak smoothly. Their brain is working too hard, but when you use simple words, your brain feels relaxed. It doesn't have to search for special vocabulary. It doesn't have to translate in your head. The words come naturally, just like in your own language. This is exactly how native speakers talk. They don't think about grammar rules. They don't think about fancy words. They simply speak. And this is what happens when you use simple English. Your sentences move faster, your mouth moves faster, your confidence grows. When English feels easy, you speak more. When you speak more, you practice more. And when you practice more, you improve much faster. This is why simple English is not weak English. Simple English is powerful English. It helps your brain stay in flow. It helps you avoid panic. It helps you enjoy speaking instead of fearing mistakes. Think about how you speak in your native language. You don't use complicated words all the time. You use simple ones again and again. And you speak smoothly. That is exactly what we are building here with English. When you master simple words like get, make, take, go, and come, you are giving your brain tools it can use quickly in any situation. This is real fluency. Not perfect English, but fast, natural English. So if you ever feel slow when speaking, don't blame your level. Just simplify your language. The simpler your words, the faster your English will flow. Part 6. Why repeating words is natural, not bad. Now, let's talk about something many learners are afraid of: repetition. In school, we are often told not to repeat words. Teachers say repetition is boring or poor writing, so learners try to avoid using the same word twice. They search for different words to sound smarter. But this rule belongs to writing, not speaking. Real conversation is full of repetition. Native speakers repeat words all the time. And when they repeat, it sounds natural, emotional, and real. For example, a native speaker might say, "I like it. I really like it." Or, "That was good. Really good." They are not trying to show vocabulary. They are showing feeling. They are emphasizing meaning. Repetition makes speech stronger, not weaker. When you repeat simple words, you sound more human. You sound relaxed. You sound like someone having a real conversation, not someone reading an essay. Many learners feel pressure to always use new words. But this pressure slows you down. It makes you nervous. It makes speaking harder. When you allow yourself to repeat simple words, speaking becomes easier and faster. This is exactly how children learn languages. They repeat the same words again and again until they feel natural. Native speakers never think, "Oh, I already used that word, I must change it." They care about communication, not variety. So from today, don't be afraid to repeat words like good, like get, make, and take. Say, "I get it." "I really get it." Say, "It was nice." Really nice. This repetition will make your English sound natural and confident. Remember, fluency is not about showing vocabulary. Fluency is about connecting with people. And repetition helps you connect more easily. Part 7. How to train simple English in real life. Now, let's talk about how you can practice this in your daily life. The first step is to change what you focus on when learning English. Instead of collecting difficult words, start mastering simple ones. Make your best friends the verbs get, make, take, go, and come. Listen for them in movies, podcasts, and conversations. You will hear them everywhere. When you hear a new difficult word, ask yourself, is there a simpler way people really speak? For example, instead of learning the word postpone, also learn put off. Instead of enter, learn go in. Instead of discover, learn find out. These simple combinations are real spoken English. Write them down. Say them out loud. Use them in your own sentences. Another great practice is shadowing. That means listening to a short sentence and repeating it immediately, just like an echo. For example, Listen and repeat with me. I got tired. I made a mistake. I'll take a break. I came back late. Do this every day for 5 to 10 minutes. This trains your mouth and brain to work together. It builds natural rhythm. It removes fear. Another tip is to simplify your thoughts before speaking. If you want to say something complicated, stop and ask, how would a native speaker say this simply? Instead of, I am extremely exhausted, say I'm tired. Instead of, I require assistance, say I need help. This habit will slowly transform your English into natural English. And remember, progress doesn't come from studying hard once a week. It comes from speaking a little every day. Simple words make daily practice easy, and daily practice makes fluency real. Part 8. Final motivation and goodbye. Now we are coming to the end of today's episode, and I want you to remember one powerful idea. Fluent English is not big English. Fluent English is simple, clear, and natural English. Native speakers don't try to impress. They try to connect. They use words that feel easy. They speak quickly and comfortably. And you can do the same. When you stop chasing difficult vocabulary and start mastering simple words, your English will change. You will feel more relaxed. You will speak faster. You will sound more confident. And most importantly, you will enjoy speaking English again. This is the goal of English Stories Podcast, to make English feel simple, real, and possible for everyone. If you listen every day and speak along with me, you will see progress faster than you expect. So don't worry about being perfect. Focus on being clear. Focus on being natural. Focus on speaking more with less English. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share it with someone who is learning English too. And remember, every simple sentence you speak today brings you closer to fluency tomorrow. Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. I'm Tom, and this is English Stories Podcast. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.